Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is The Local Live.
Good evening, Larchmont, Mamaroneck, and Rhinebeck. I'm Anthony Carlo. It's 7:30, which means it's time for The Local Live. Let's take a look at the stories we have for you tonight. At our round table, Pamela Tillengast and Laura Eckley discuss the Larchmont Public Library makeover with us. Stay tuned. What's new in the village of Mamaroneck? Coming up, the highlights from the last meeting. The Mamaroneck Skinny House is seeing expanded support towards joining the National Register of Historic Places. Returning this week, our In the Media segment has important local information. And of course, we'll bring you the LMC-TV Play of the Week. Attention Walter's Hot Dogs lovers, we have greatest news for you, plus a healthy new restaurant opened in Larchmont. Stay tuned to find out where you can find some great Mexican food. And don't forget, our Pet of the Week is ready for adoption. The Board of Trustees was alerted by a concerned Mamaroneck resident who spotted and photographed something fishy in the water last week. What appeared to be solid bits of grease floating in the Mamaroneck River off the bridge by Station Plaza, the mysterious substance appeared in the morning and then disappeared as the afternoon approached. Local authorities were contacted, but apparently the village government was just made aware of the incident at Monday's meeting. Here's what the resident had to say about the ever-present question of the quality of the village's water.
From what I'm hearing from Tracy Brown, there's someone, I'm thinking, unless I'm mistaken from what she said, it was the Department of Health thinks by visually it's soap suds. It's solid, it doesn't break up. And if it's soap suds, is there an illicit hookup? Is somebody watching trucks? Is this the soap that they use in the car wash with oil in it? Is there petroleum? Is it coming from someone's home sewer line where they're exchanging sewage into the river with this? We don't know. But it's 8 days of this going on, and that's what's wrong. If this is the first time you heard about it, Rich, was from me yesterday, why the police department and the Department of Health and the DEC knew about something you as the village manager didn't know is a very alarming and disturbing thing to me when we don't know what this is that's in our water, and we have such a big water issue, and we also have problems being sued because of our water issues. Someone's supposed to be coming and figuring this out. I don't know who that's going to be, but we should know what this is. But the fact that the police department or whoever, that there's no communication with your office is unconscionable in a situation like this. If the beaches are opening in a few weeks, is this how long it would take to respond to this, that we don't know what kids are possibly swallowing? That to me is disgusting.
As the resident was concerned about the quality of our beaches, the Local Live contacted the Recreation and Parks Department of Mamaroneck and was told that the local beaches are expected to open on Friday, May 22nd. We'll keep you posted on any developments regarding the story. If you'd like to see this meeting in full, as well as other municipal meetings in our community, please visit lmc-tv.org. In other news, the Mamaroneck Skinny House is getting more support from public officials to be added to the National Register of Historic Places. On his Facebook account, Mayor Rosenblum shared a picture of a letter from Congressman Engel expressing his support. Stay tuned for our highlights of what's trending in our local online community. Here's this week's In the Media.
The Loop reports that the Village of Larchmont received a $250,000 grant for new baseball fields at Lorenzen Park. Assemblyman Steve Otis helped secure the award from the State Department of Environmental Conservation. Fields for Kids says $25,000 are still needed to make the project a reality. According to the Daily Voice, a recent MTA Inspector General report shows that Metro-North maintenance crews get little supervision and don't document their work. The Inspector General said that many of the problems were brought to the attention of the railroad in 2001, but were not addressed. Learn about the Beatles, the band, not the bug, at the Mamaroneck Library. The Mamaroneck Review highlights a free multimedia presentation about the Fab Four's first trip to the United States. You can go on April 25th at 11 a.m. It'll be by author Aaron Krerowitz. On the afternoon of April 20th, At Home on the Sound is sponsoring a free writing workshop by Amy Ralston-Seif on how to write your story. For more details, check out the Hamlet Hub. And did you know that former New York Yankee and eponym of the disease with his name, Lou Gehrig, lived in Larchmont from 1934 to 1940? Well, neither did I, but the Patch reports that Gehrig and author, publicist, and Yankee expert Marty Appel will be inducted into the Larchmont Historical Society on April 19th. Appel will be on hand to talk about his time with the Yankees. And that's what's in the media this week. I'm Maura Carlin.
Very interesting to know that the Iron Horse Lou Gehrig resided right here in Larchmont for part of his life. Our roundtable discussion with Pamela Tillengast and Laura Eckley will begin after a quick commercial break.
To the trivia question, but boy, what an inviting space this is. Spacious, modern, bright, and I see lots of computers on tables. This is the vision for the new Larchmont Library, at least a transformation of the existing Larchmont Library, and that's the topic tonight on our hyper-local live segment of the Local Live. Good evening, I'm Michael Witch, and I'm going to be talking about Larchmont Library tonight with Laura Eckley, who is the library director, and Pamela, Dubitsky. You're the chair of the board of trustees of the library, and Joanna Nadler, you're on the fundraising committee. And the fundraising committee is looking to raise $1.5 million to do, we called it a makeover, but it's actually a transformation. Pamela, what's transformation? I mean, it's a powerful word. Is the library going to be totally redone?
Not totally transformed. It's a project to renew and update the main library building. Mm-hmm. The main library building has not been renovated since 1994. And when you think about all the things that have happened since 1994, you realize there's been a lot of changes. Mm-hmm. Libraries are about information, access to information, and the way we access and use information has changed dramatically since 1994 in terms of computers, iPads, internet, everything. Mm-hmm. So we really feel that it's time to renew and update the main library building. We're calling it a transformation rather than a renovation because we're going to work with the existing footprint of the building and really just use the existing space in a better way and refresh it and update it.
And I understand that the Larchmont Library is actually watching the show now in the main room. Is that right, Laura?
Yep, we have a large television set up, and the show is playing live.
Well, welcome to the viewers in the Larchmont Library. And also welcome to a special viewer in Wappingers Falls. The Slanskys are tuning in tonight. I think they're watching on the internet. We already have a tweet and an email question. And of course, you are invited to ask your questions or make your comments. The contact information for the Local Live is on your screen. So let's talk about the renovations. Those pictures went by so quickly in the very beginning. Maybe we could take a look at one at a time, and you can tell us what we're looking at. So first picture on the screen, please. We're obviously going to be putting computers on there. This is a lovely setting. Are you adding social space so that people can sit around and talk?
This is the teen room. We've hired an architectural firm, Lothrop and Associates, out of White Plains, and they have done a master plan for us and also construction documents, and then they did these renderings, just to give people an idea of what it could look like. So this is the what we're hoping for the teen space, which is on the upper level, and we're trying to make it a space that's comfortable and very accessible to teens with a lot of ability to work on laptops and have good lighting and good outlets and good
do I see book
space.
Stacks on the left and the right?
Yeah, and there are book stacks there too.
So we haven't forgotten
we have
about
not
the
forgotten
print?
books, right. It's
All
a combination of books and technology.
Okay.
And lots of good programs. Right.
Okay, next picture, please. This looks like the entryway.
This is the main entryway.
Okay.
We have, right now, the circulation desk is right in the front. We're going to move the circulation desk back and really open up the space a lot more so there's better flow through the space. We have, in the main entryway, we're going to have two rooms. On the right side, there's going to be a more traditional reading room that will be glassed in and will serve our patrons who are looking for that more traditional library feel. On the left side, there's going to be what we call the browsing room, which is a little more like a bookstore where you can get bestsellers and chit-chat a little more. And we're trying to, serve different patrons' needs with that front room. But it's really making it lighter and more open.
It looks very inviting. Can we see the next picture?
This is what we call the Technology Commons, which is currently the reference room. And what you can see from this room is actually the building is a great building. We have the overhead light there. We have the windows in the back. There's a lot that we can work with in terms of the existing space. So this is a Technology Commons. It will have a laptop bar, kind of like you see in airports and things. There's going to be some desks there with good lighting and good outlets, some workstations along the side where people can do work on computers and do collaborative work. So it's
So people can bring their own laptop.
absolutely.
And then you'll have some,
We'll have some workstations with
traditional
some-
workstations for
Exactly.
people who don't have laptops.
Exactly.
Okay. And I think one more picture is there.
And that is the same room. That's also the Technology Commons from the other angle. We'll have a tutoring room there. A lot of people come to the library to be tutored. A lot of young people do. So part of this plan is to have a few tutoring spaces. We have a conference room there that people can use as a conference room and also use for technology training. We provide a lot of good technology training classes. And we have classes, in the mornings on how to use Twitter, what is Twitter, how to use this Kindle that my granddaughter just gave me, things like that. So that's going to be a room in which we'll have technology classes. And we'll also have a business center there.
That's great. So, it's funny. Years ago, people said that the internet is going to replace the library, and it hasn't happened that way. The library has actually embraced the internet and has become a center for technology. So people are not at home isolated. They're coming to the library.
No, they're definitely coming to the library. In fact, what we're finding throughout the county is that libraries are busier than ever because there's many more different things that you can do at the library now. We have 40,000 ebooks that are available to our patrons that can be downloaded. We have downloadable magazines. We have downloadable music and streaming music, and that's all available just with your Westchester County Library card.
And that's free.
And it's all free. So in addition to the wonderful collection of books and magazines that we have, our terrific reference staff, and all the programs that we hold, we now have all of these downloadable products that are available through the internet. But we find that people are coming in more and more so that we can help them learn how to use them. Because people, they get a Kindle for Christmas and they don't necessarily know how to use it. They come to the library.
And they may not have a 13-year-old in the family.
That's right.
And we also do find, it is true that technology can be quite isolating, and it's definitely true that people come into the library in order to be around people when they're using their technology. We also find a lot of teenagers come in and want to do collaborative work together. That's why we have these workstations where 2 or more people could sit at those stations and work. So that's definitely something that's actually bringing more people into the library because they don't want to be home alone with their computers.
So Joanna, the cost, the projected cost of this transformation is $1.5 million.
Yes.
And how far are you along in that fundraising effort?
Well, the good news is that thanks to many loyal and generous donors, we've already reached $860,000 of the $1.5 million goal. Our goal is in the next several months to add to this success, have other donors, other members of our community join this campaign. It's really a one-time opportunity to create a library that brings the Larchmont Library into the 21st century. Many other libraries throughout Westchester have done similar things, and the Larchmont Library is in urgent need of this kind of transformation, if you will.
Well, Mamaroneck Library did a whole transformation in, I believe,
Renovation.
2011.
Right, huge.
And Larchmont serves a bigger community, doesn't it? It serves the town as well as the village of Larchmont.
The communities are of similar size. We serve the village of Larchmont and the unincorporated town of Mamaroneck. And the Mamaroneck Library is a special library district that serves the village of Mamaroneck and Rhinebeck.
Exactly.
We serve about 18,000 people.
And the information about where people can send a donation or make an online contribution, I think is going to be on the screen several times, hopefully, during the course of our little conversation here. So you're looking for any kind of a donation.
We are.
Any size.
We absolutely are. We have received gifts ranging from $1 to gifts in the six figures. There are several naming opportunities throughout the library: rooms, workstations, meeting rooms, tutoring spaces that offer opportunities for donors to create a lasting memory of their donation, perhaps in memory of loved ones. What we also are welcoming is gifts of any size. Really, this is a community outreach. This library serves all of us, little kids, teenagers, old people. It is a place of congregation that is unique. So as such, we really are confident that any community member will appreciate the value of the library and be able to join in and help us reach our goal of $1.5 million.
Let me go to a tweet that was that we received actually before we started, and it had to do with attracting more teenagers to the library. So I guess the teen space that you've designed is for that purpose.
Teen space is very important. We have this fabulous children's room. Our children's room was renovated in 2009, 2010. We have won Best Children's Room of Westchester twice, in 2012 and again in 2014. So we've really
and that's not going to be part of the.
That's not part of this process.
That's not part of.
That's
okay.
already done.
Right.
But what's so great about that is we've really brought a lot of young library users into the library, and huge numbers of children are in there every day. It's really a very attractive place for young families to go. So our goal is to create what we're calling lifelong library users, and we feel like it's very important for those children, once they outgrow that space, to feel like they have another place to go. And teens want to work often in libraries, other communities. This is happening. A lot of collaboration. They work on projects together. They want to get out of the home. So we want to create a space for them to be able to do that that's fun and feels like their own.
And part of that question that came in was, how will the teens use the new space? Socially, or doing research, or what? Combination?
A large combination of ways. We have a wonderful teen librarian. Her name is Kim Larson. She's right here from Mamaroneck. She lives in Mamaroneck, and she has started a wide variety of programs in the last year. Tonight, as we speak, as they're watching this in the library, she has a Peeps, the little Easter Peeps, a Peeps diorama contest that's wrapping up. They're probably leaving right now with their little Peeps diorama. But we also have book groups and gaming nights, and we plan to continue those. But we want the teens to have their own space, and a space that they feel at home in, where they can gather socially, they can work collaboratively on projects, they can come for programs that we hold, and they will have their own computers in that area so that they can work on computers.
I remember when I was a little kid and a teenager growing up, the library was a place, it was a quiet space. They're not so quiet these days, are they?
They're much less quiet than they were when I was growing up. However, we find that what we find is that some people want it to be quiet, and some people want it to be more like a bookstore. So this particular plan has a variety of spaces. We have spaces that are quiet and that will be closed off with glass and that are soundproofed, so that you can have that experience of being in a quiet place to study. So you can have the shushing experience if you so desire, but there will also be places that are more work-oriented and where you can talk in a normal voice and hold a class and not be worried about being shushed.
We have an email from Emily, actually a tweet from Emily. Will I be able to access the internet from my personal computer when I'm at the library?
You can.
Yes.
You can right now,
You
yes.
can right now. Even on the front lawn you can, actually. We've set up, now we've developed the garden in the last year with the help from the garden club, put out benches there. You can sit out in the front lawn and use the Wi-Fi too.
So that's
great
because you have a router. That's a Wi-Fi router. That means anybody in the inside of the building or around the building can take advantage of a free connection.
We have three, actually. We have three wireless routers throughout the building that gives us coverage for the whole. It's a 23,000 square foot building. It's a lot larger than it appears from the street, and that covers the whole property.
You've got questions that you say you're always asked, and one of them is, well, the children's room was just renovated, but as you explained, Pamela, that's not part of this transformation. However, I guess it is proof that if you transform a space, you will get more people coming in and using the space, and they'll be using it in different ways.
In different ways. Actually, we have a lot of people using the space. Another question that people often ask me are, our library is used anymore? And really, our library is used very heavily. So while we're trying to create a space that's very inviting and refreshing and renewed, we actually have a lot of users already. And we have statistics from 2013 that's basically, we have, what was it, 227,000 visits that year, and 395,000 items that were checked out. So it's a very, very actively used library. We definitely agree that when we do this renovation, we'll probably bring more people in, but we have a great library already that's very actively used.
Yeah, but part of I guess the keystone of the transformation is the new technology.
Right.
And the spaces for collaborative use of the new technology.
And using the space better. We find that there are a lot of people who come into the library and use it fairly regularly who don't even know that we have an upper level or a lower level, don't know that we have stairwells that you can use to go up to the upper level and the lower level. So we're really trying to use those two levels in ways that make sense and expand them and make them more appealing for people.
Yeah, because one question you said you get asked is, do people even use libraries anymore?
Yeah.
And they certainly do.
They do. They really do. And we have come from it's a very literate community. People are very active library users in our community.
Well,
I think also one thing to note is that what's exciting is people are using libraries even more and in even more ways. So whereas before there was this sort of unidimensional books and books only, not only does the library have books, but there's so many other ways that people are using libraries. Technology is isolating, but the library is a community resource. People come to hang out, to gather. Laura can talk about all these questions. People want to have book clubs. They want to have a meeting space where they can talk. This is a unique opportunity to offer Larchmont those kinds of spaces. So
and we should mention, obviously, you have a website. A very good website, I might add. I checked it out before we started. And you want to give that web address?
The library's website is larchmontlibrary.org, but there's also a transformation website, which is transformingfortomorrow.org.
Transformingfortomorrow.org. And on that website, they'll see the photographs, some of the photographs that we saw earlier, and they'll also see a way to contribute. And again, they can contribute by check or cash. You take cash?
We take any form of remuneration.
Or online as well. And these are all tax-deductible donations.
They all are. Checks can be made out to the Larchmont Public Library. People can bring them in, mail them in. You can also donate, as Laura mentioned, to the website www.transformingfortomorrow.org. If you wish, you can call us and give a donation. That phone number is 834-1977. But just to reiterate, no gift is too small. We really are so grateful for the gifts we've gotten so far, and we're more than halfway there. So we are confident that our community will rally behind this important project.
When do you think you will reach your goal, and when will the renovation then begin, or the transformation?
The transformation, you have to call it the transformation. We're really hoping, we're expecting by the end of this year. So we started the fundraising committee started in the fall in September and has raised a lot since then. And we'll continue to fundraise into the fall of 2015. And the renovation really will start at the end, late next year, basically.
And will the library remain open and operating fully while the transformation is happening?
Partially. The children's room will remain open, and all of the children's room services and programs will remain in place. And we're working on how we can continue to have some of the adult services available out of the children's room and out of parts of the adult space that we'll have access to. So, for example, anybody that uses the library knows how important our interlibrary loan system is, and we will maintain that. We'll continue to receive materials from other libraries that people can come and pick up, and you can return your books back to the library. And we'll continue to circulate new material and hold programs. But we're also looking at ways to get out into the community and have little pop-up libraries and maybe have little libraries in residence throughout the community during the renovations so that people can that they can continue to use the services while we're closed.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, should be fun.
Do you want to plug any of the special events that might be coming up while we've got a minute left?
Let's see.
Are there any fundraising events that you can announce at this time? Any special things coming up?
Not at this point. We have.
Okay.
There's a lot of. We had an open house in the fall, and the fundraising committee did. And there was. You've had some cocktail parties and coffees, things like that.
What I think is important is there will be another event like the public event that Pamela mentioned in the library. We'll update you on the date. But it is also important that everybody knows that any question is welcome, and we welcome one-on-one meetings with people so we can share more about our plans. That's
there might actually be a viewer who doesn't even know where the library is. We should point out that it's a beautiful building, and it's right across the street from Village Hall and the
121
police
Larchmont
Department.
Avenue,
Right, and there's parking right out in front.
And it's an historic building. It's 1926. It's a beautiful building. It just needs some help.
Yeah.
But it's basically a few different buildings that have been cobbled together through the years, and it feels that way. But it is an historic building, and it actually has some very beautiful spaces within it that we just need to capture and enhance.
And it's worth a visit.
Definitely worth a visit.
Now and in the future.
Right, right.
Well, we've actually run out of time, but I'd like to thank you, Laura Eckley, the director of the library, and Pamela Dubitsky, who is the chair of the Board of Trustees of the library, and Joanna Nadler, who's on the fundraising committee. Thank you for spending some time with us on the Local Live. Hopefully you'll come back when you can present to us the plans in action and give us more details about the transformation of Larchmont Library.
Thank you so much for giving us
Thanks
this
so much.
opportunity.
You're welcome.
Great.
And please stay tuned. We have more news coming up right after this.
This week in sports, a resurgent Rhinebeck boys lacrosse team in just their second year at the varsity level improved to 5-2 with a win against Blindbrook. Panthers attacker Jake Calcagni got the scoring started with a nifty backhand goal in the LMC Varsity Sports Play of the Week.
They are very close to one another as it'll be brought in here and a shot will be scored quickly by Jake Calcagni and assisted by Chris Richard.
That was a beautiful backhand shot right out in front. Really no chance. You're just not expecting a shot from that angle.
Walter's hot dog stand just got its first set of wheels. Christian Zocoli has the story. Let's check it out.
I'm here at Walter's Hot Dog Stand because their owners have a special announcement to make. Let's see what they have to say.
So the big news today is that we are announcing our new Walter's Hot Dog food truck.
This is something that we've wanted to do for many years, to bring Walter's to our customers, you know, Walter's on wheels basically. And so what we did was we wanted to replicate the design of the pagoda. And so we did that with the truck, and we're really excited about getting it on the road and, you know, bringing our hot dogs all over Westchester County.
Potential customers can reach us for any inquiries or parties that they want to have at their house or a park at truck@waltershotdogs.com. And the phone number is on the truck. It's 914-400-3164.
We have a lot of upcoming events coming for the spring and summer. We've partnered up with Captain Lawrence, which is a well-known brewery in Elmsford, Halftime, which is here in Mamaroneck, and a lot of other breweries and different festivals that we have set up already. And then also private parties like some weddings, anniversary parties, family reunions. So a lot of different types of events coming up, and that's what we want to encourage our customers, is that those are the type of parties we're going to be doing. We have the menu that we have here at Walter's on the truck, but what's really important is that since we're focusing on private parties, events, and catering, that we've developed party packages that can fit any type of party, any size of party, and that's what we're really excited about to accommodate our loyal customers.
After years of service and 9 months of hard work, the Walters food truck is rolling out to its roadside fans. For the Local Live, I'm Christian Sokole. It's so good. This is so good.
Well, thank you, Christian. With the warmer weather right around the corner, it's nice to know that Walters will be on wheels now. I can get them wherever I am. Well, speaking of food, in the spotlight this week, we have a new Mexican restaurant in Larchmont that offers organic and gluten-free meals. Reporter Ashley Balone takes us inside of Rio Bravo. Let's check it out.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Balone, and today we're here at the newly opened restaurant in Larchmont, Rio Bravo, where we got a chance to talk to one of the owners, and he gave us an inside scoop on some of the most popular dishes and even showed us where the magic happens. Rio Bravo has been open for only a few weeks, and people are already raving about the food. Their menu includes gluten-free and organic dishes. What inspired the owners to include these healthier choices? Let's find out. What got you into making gluten-free dishes?
It's one, I have a family member who is allergic to the gluten, so it motivates you, but also the clientele. The clientele is becoming a trend, so we're trying to get ahead of the trend. Most of our menu is also, we have a lot of organic dishes and hormone-free, free-range eggs. We don't advertise it in our menu because there's still a few things that I'm working with my vendors here locally to get it over to 100%. But yes, we're going on that direction.
Edgar and his staff work hard to make sure that clients get exactly what they came for. Not only is the food extremely authentic, but so are the decorations. Everything from the tiles to the paintings are handcrafted from Mexico. If you could describe your restaurant in one word, what would it be?
One word, flavor. I think our food is very flavorful. It's a small menu and we make it, we care about it. Everybody cares.
Speaking of flavor, I got a chance to go in the kitchen where Edgar showed us the secret to the popular Marco Polo tacos.
We start with the bacon wrapped shrimp with a little bit of garlic salt seasoning and wrapped in bacon and fry to golden brown. And there it is, finished product, Marco Polo tacos.
I got a chance to try the shrimp tacos and they were amazing. So if you love Mexican food and you just want to have a good time with friends or family, definitely come and check this place out. As always, I'm Ashley Balone with the Local Live signing off.
Our pet of the week is a little kitty from the New Rochelle Humane Society. You can adopt him by logging into www.newrochellehumanesociety.org. And that is it for this edition of The Local Live. For more information on the stories you saw, visit our website, lmc-tv.org. As always, any concerns, comments, or questions can be emailed to us at thelocallive@lmc-tv.org. Thank you again for watching. I'm Anthony Carlo, and we hope to see you next week on The Local Live.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is The Local Live.